Hello, hello, guys. I hope everybody is doing great. Tonight on Elevation Show, I've got the one and only Josh Chaps K. How are you doing, buddy? Okay.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm great. I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
No, we're fantastic, man. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's good to have you on this show. I've been waiting for a long time to call
Um,
you.
it's actually an honor to be here as well. Like I've been watching the show since it started, and it's actually something that's worthwhile and something that's I'd urge to keep on going because it's there to boost people and to grow us as individuals.
Fantastic, man. Thank you so much, man. I do appreciate those, supportive words. Oh yeah, I just wanted you, Josh. I know Josh. I've known Josh for quite a long time. Just for those people who do not know who Josh is and why he's here tonight. Tonight we're going to be speaking about the art culture in Zimbabwe, or in Africa per se. There's a lot of artists that we have, the likes of Dominic Benura, that are mostly involved in curious, or you call it sculpting. That's another form of art. We've got the likes of Josh Chaps here, who is very much versed in abstract art, which is some amazing type of art that you guys would like to sort of go into. The only problem is, what I've realized lately is that no, it's not a problem. Actually, it's an added advantage to your sector, Josh. You might like to hear this. We've been buying art from outside the country, mostly because our art in the country was seen as something that is extremely expensive, and it was seen as luxury. We understand the value that you guys place on your art pieces. And I think it is high time now we start marketing our own local brands, our own local artists, and try to sort of push this even outside of our own country. So tonight, Josh, that's my introduction, but I'd like you to introduce yourself to the audience.
Um, all right, thank you so much for the introduction, and then let me just jump into my introduction. Like you guys maybe know, my name is Josh Chaps K. I'm a Zimbabwean artist, abstract expressionist. I create art using emotions, using color, using the day-to-day environment, what we go through, what happens on a daily basis, what I come across, the cultures that I interact with, everything that I go through is motivation enough for me to create something. Like you can see in the background, there's a lot of color going on, there's a lot
Yeah,
of figurism going on. That's all about it. What we're talking about. So as Josh Chapsky is CEO and founder of Creative Inc. Creative Inc.
fantastic.
Um, Creative Inc. is basically a company that natures talent, that develops talent in the art sector, be it poetry, be it visual art, be it dance and stuff like that. It's something that we go out there and we bring the talent where it's supposed to be. Like we match make the talent with the people. Initially, we started just like a basic company that did the art and the craft. We still do that, and now we're venturing into that, the nurturing of the natural gifts, the nurturing of the inborn talents that people have. Because I want to answer, you asked about why we buy art outside and not locally. Let me
Mm,
answer that one with this phrase starting from here.
yeah,
Growing up, no one in the community would say to their children, grow up and be musicians, especially in the African community, grow up and be artists, grow up and be an actor. Those kinds of careers were not even amongst the mainstream that people would want. Growing up, everyone would be like, no, you have to be a doctor. Next, a doctor, be a lawyer, be a nurse, be a teacher. That's what we grew up knowing. Yet inside of us, we had something that was knocking at the door, being like, let me come out. And then all that was trashed. So
mm,
growing up, like coming back to the art, growing one, no one would take this serious. This is a joke to people in our community where we come from.
wow.
That's why it pains me so much that this is more appreciated outside of our borders rather than inside our borders. Because growing up, that mentality has stuck in people that this is a joke. I for one, live on the art, right? Growing up, I'm one of those people that wanted to become a doctor as well. But
Yeah.
fast forward, I didn't know what kind of a doctor. Now I am a paint doctor. I am feeding off the joke that people grew up saying is a joke. So the moment that we realize that as individuals, as a community, we've got something inside that we can push to become a better place, I'm thinking that's where we start appreciating art. I
Yes.
cannot write a story like a journalist. I can't, but I can draw a story. I can bring out a story on canvas. That's something that's worth appreciating. Because if you look at that and say it's a joke, yet someone writes a story and we give them credit, that's like being unfair on most people that have hidden talents that we think are jokes. So I'm thinking we need to come back to the drawing board and view everyone in that sense that we are the same thing. We are the same people, just wired differently.
Man, that is something else. That is something else. I had to type it in, right at the bottom there. You know, um, our communities sometimes we tend to not put value onto things that are local. So we need to start understanding that all these local artists that we have at the moment are the very people that we need to be supporting. You can't wait
Exactly.
for your piece of art. Your piece of art, I would not be able to buy it if it's sold in Germany. So if somebody comes
Exactly.
and buys this piece of art from yourself and they come and resell it here in the UK or in Germany, I would not be able to afford that because they place value on art and on artists. So I think it is the beginning really for us to
Exactly.
really look into how exactly can we integrate our arts so that we can start appreciating them. Look beyond the fact that we're in Africa. Let's start appreciating our own people, our own tradition, and maybe that way we'll be able to uplift you guys and be able to uplift, the arts sector. That's quite interesting and it's quite
Definitely.
emotional. I can see the emotion in you, Josh. This is something that is so close to your heart, is it not?
It's for me now, art is no longer just getting paint and drawing. Art is life for me. So if you remove the art, you kind of like kill a part of me. So that's why I tend to become emotional, especially with this subject, because I've seen it as something that other communities have gotten to understand and you see that the Hollywood scenario, those
Mm,
guys have been supporting the film industry ever since time we grew up knowing Hollywood.
mm,
Those guys have just kept the tradition going. But imagine I grew up in a community where I'm regarded a joke in terms of the drawing. Because initially my parents didn't want me to draw
yeah.
at school. Imagine. So
Wow.
now going like I had the talent, but going up now you had to hide the drawing thing, just do my books with some side, and
Mm,
then growing up you'll be like, okay, so wait a say, because you've got something that's calling from inside,
yeah.
and that's where maybe we can answer where we need to actually grow together in uplifting the community, because we've got loads of stuff that is calling from within, but we choose to neglect that,
Mm,
yet that's the real person that you are, and then you live then a suppressed life. In Let me be honest with you, in right now the smile that I have is not
mm,
because I've got money. No, I've got a smile because I do what I love every day when I wake up.
wow. Wow.
And that's one thing we should embrace as a community, waking up to do something that we love, not
That you
something that
love.
we're supposed to do in the event that we get money.
That really answers, I think, the question that I wanted to ask you next, but I'll still ask it anyway. Lately, you've been doing quite a lot of, school visits, working with the children from the grassroots, trying to sort of nurture that talent. Is it something that because you were sort of not given the opportunity to do it when you were younger, but is it something that you are trying to sort of maybe transfer to the younger generation to say, you know what, just find that which is within you and bring it out. So you're trying to give them the opportunity that you didn't get when you were younger yourself.
Okay. I think there was a technical glitch in the network, so I didn't quite get your question. But if I'm to rephrase it, I'm thinking you're talking about me doing something that I failed to do earlier on.
Okay,
Is it
I
is
can
it
I
am I
can
correct?
ask you. I can ask you again. Sorry about that, Josh. So can you hear me now? Can you hear me properly?
Not really.
Oh wow. Okay. So I think we're having a bit of a glitch there. I don't know whether it's coming from my side because I can hear you properly. Can you hear me now properly?
Okay, I still can't hear you properly though.
Okay. Right. Let me do something real quick. Let me see if I'll be able to.
Okay, cool, no problem.
Can you hear anything? Can you hear me? No?
I can hear you, but it's still glitching a bit.
Still glitching. Okay. Let me try something. Let me try something. Let me try something. Give me a second. Give me a second. Take this one. Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, fantastic. So the question is, I've seen you lately, going into schools, teaching young
Okay.
people, teaching the little kids how to draw and stuff like that. Are you trying to sort of maybe go back to the drawing board, going back to the roots in terms of where talent is usually found? Is it the reason, the reason why you've been, I mean, because you were denied that opportunity, are you trying to sort of have not have as a site, but to cultivate the talent from a younger age? Is this coming from you being denied that chance to do that when you're young?
Okay, now I get the question.
You get the question?
Okay, the reason why we decided as to take the art to the young kids in schools is just there are two reasons. The
Mm,
first one is definitely it's it's a very good thing to start something that you know you're talented in at a very young age. That's the best thing that we can ever do. But
mm,
now, like you said, growing up, we never taught that. Talent was suppressed at all
yeah.
times. It was suppressed. So now, going to the schools, we'll be like, no, we are not trying to teach, to take away maybe some subjects out of the curriculum. We are just adding these extracurricular activities whereby we take people that feel they've got the talent and then they come through. So it's just an additional where we just boost the confidence. Because it's one thing to have talent and one thing to have confidence with the talent. Two
True.
things. And
True.
then the other thing is we just want to create an environment where kids are actually free to explore, right?
Mm,
Because some kids actually do not know what their talent is, what they carry. So it's a way to actually explore. When we start, you actually can tell, no, this because art is therapeutic, as you know. We also do the
oh yeah.
art therapy with the kids, whereby we can actually detect that, no, this kid is suffering from maybe that depression, or they're suffering from that trauma of some sort. So that's the second part that we use the art on. So now fusing the both, you can actually come out with students that you know these people are talented. We can work with these ones in that field. We can work with these ones in that field. You can tell this one we enjoy music, we enjoy smart sports, we enjoy art. You can tell. But
Wow.
now, if you just bring the broad and be like, everyone is doing art, everyone is doing music, you kill one because they've
Mm,
got a lot that they were trying to balance as smoother. But if you now start the selective part, they grow up in their zone and they go. That's why you've got most European countries qualifying for Olympics with my younger athletes. It's because why not discover one in my 5 years, 6 years, seven. They start working on pole vaults.
mm.
Tendai and Josh, right now we can't take ourselves to more Olympics in the pole vaults. We would die on that pole vault thingy because we are not used to that. At that technique, but
That's
these
true.
kids started at 7. So I'm thinking, everyone who's watching, if you've got my kids, if you've got young ones that you believe have got something in them, let's try and find that. Let's try and nurture that and take it out there and support. Because
Yes.
Isuzu talent right now support Stancina. But look at us now. We pushed our way to the top where we are now through that. So it's better to see someone and help rather than letting them struggle. You Jizoti, you can help. That's what we're doing, and that's what we want the community to do as well.
Mate, honestly, I'm impressed. You know, when I saw you doing your art with these young children, I was very very carried away with the fact that when we were very young, um, I was very good at drawing. I was very good at art. I was very good. I was very very good at art. Um, but I wasn't given the opportunity that you're trying to give to these young kids. So at the moment, if we are at family functions, you'd hear the likes of Anamai Guruangu, Anamkoma, and stuff like that saying, you know, there's kids in the family that are drawing now, that they're so into arts, and they always liken them to me. They say, you know what? They always say, Bakato Zabamni, you know. I've got some boys in Australia and stuff like that. They're older now, almost in their 20s. And if I meet their mom, they'll be like, oh, you know, Tawanda is drawing, you know, Agato Zaimimi. Tiffany is drawing, Agato Zaimimi. Ashley is drawing now, Agato Zaimimi. That means that those are some of the missed opportunities that we get in lives. If I were given an opportunity like what the opportunity that you're giving to young children now, I'll be somewhere right now, right? I'll be somewhere right now. Here in the UK or in Europe, they nurture these kinds of talents. You know, people become amazing artists. That's something that they would actually live by. They'll live on selling art. They'll live on selling art pieces. And they live a good life. You know, so I think music, art of any form, really, in Africa, needs to be supported big time. And I appreciate what you're doing. Man. I appreciate it big time. Right. So I've seen you, I think, with the likes of Naru Veneko and all these elite guys, I should say, in quotes. You've been on these in these events, loads of events lately. I just want to know a little bit about those events, Josh, if you don't mind. Can you maybe elaborate to us what exactly were those events about? Because I've got a question that I need you to respond to after this question, please, if you don't mind.
All right. So basically, these events are like social events whereby these, like you said, elite people are invited to be like keynote speakers where they share my life stories. And so these events are more like entrepreneur events where they give the youth an opportunity to grow who they are, their brands and stuff like that. So these like elites, you said, come through and give my pointers, their roads, their journeys that they've walked and how they've gotten there. So now in our Kumba, these guys are being invited to participate. That's fine. Why can't I take this as a platform to grow the brand? So that's when I popped in. That going to the top from Pachoga, actually, let me use this term, actually, kupusa. So, because I was like, no, okay, in any, I'm growing the brand. I just need to just pop into my gap. So I get in there. I'm like, no, guys, in I can do 1, 2, 3, 4 for you guys. And then cool. That's how I broke into that. So pay separate for these events. You can see me there as well. And
I love that. I love that. I love that, Josh. And the follow-up questions. And the reason why I asked that question, it's only because it's a good thing. Trust me, it is a good thing. What you're doing is amazing. What I just wanted to what I took from that is the fact that you're collaborating a little bit more these days, right? I wanted to ask you, what have you realized from the time that you started collaborating and attending these events? Is your art being received a little bit more? Are you getting the support that you want from these events, or are they just events where you're just going to be speaking to these people and there isn't much that you're getting out of them? Can you please elaborate in terms of networks? Are we networking enough as artists in the country?
Okay, so let me answer that in 2 stages. These events, to be honest, have given me a platform to actually network bigger and network wider. So for me, they've been beneficial. Then my second part to answer that question is it now needs everyone in the arts sector to actually see that. In terms of you to grow, you don't grow with one. You can't. You need the next brother. You need Tendai. You need Josh. Ndakauya ndakakupa idea yangu pa table. I don't mean kuti the idea is mine yaurikuita. No. Take what you know you can grow on. Take something that you can build on. Because if a house is being built, pane zvidhina, pane cement, and then you can't build a house without cement. You can't build a house with bricks only or with cement only. You need both. So the networking part now is that combination of the cement and bricks. Panchabuda ndakenda ku elevation show, I'll learn 3 things. Panchabuda ndakenda ku the mash, nchadziza zvinhu 4. Ndakenda ku go-getters, nchadziza zvinhu 5. I go home, I write those down, I list those down. Zvikuenderana nezvandoda kupusha, I get my notes, I draft that, I grow. That's how we grow. The next thing, my contacts, eku elevation show. Guys, I've got this product. And I said, we saw you kokati. Let's try and see if we can come up with something. That's how we grow. The next thing, in Indageta Tendai, if it's beneficial, if people like it, Tendai, the next time he refers me to his friend, his friend to his friend, his friend to his friend. That's how other communities have grown. That's how we should grow. Because in my phone book, let's say I've got about 5,000 contacts. Tendai, you've got 5,000 contacts. Tell me what we should lack if you've got a contact with 5,000 people.
Wow. So that's the power of networking.
Exactly. I shouldn't have difficulties finding something because I've got people that are in, let's say, every facet of life and move on. So that's why we should network. We should create that communicative networking system as artists.
You know, having said what you just said now, it makes me think of quite a lot of other things that could be done, within the art space. What I've realized is there is a little bit of a drift within the art space, and that drift is you can see that there is a sort of a division within the arts themselves, depending on what type of art it is. So you do your art in terms of drawing abstract art and stuff like that. There is sort of a gap between what you do and what Dominic Benora does, right? It's all art.
That's true.
Right? Then there's a form of art which is music and stuff like that. We need to be in a position where we can actually gel all these forms of art to produce something that is amazing. You can create an amazing picture of what Josh does when you incorporate it within your music. It can be even advertised or marketed in a music form. You can do the same yourself with a song and depict it within your art form, which is abstract art. Similarly, with what Dominic Benra does in sculpting, they can also create a certain form of art whilst depicting your sort of art together with the music that people do produce. So at the end of the day, we need that collaboration within the arts sector, making sure that you sit at the same table with Dominic Benura, you sit with this at the same table with Poptain and discuss how you guys can collaborate to create a masterpiece, right? So there's something that is missing there. I think it's all because there is no information as to how artists should have to collaborate, you know? So it's something that needs to be done. I don't know what you think about that, but that's something that, you know, in Zim, we need to do those kinds of things.
Well, I think the problem that I can cite on that one is that when someone makes it to the top, you'll be like, guys, I was on my own. I struggled on my own. So don't tell me about collaboration. And that's one thing that I've kind of noticed. Because sure, getting to the top is hard. We've got loads of the war is hard out there. The struggle is real. So now coming back, Nditi collaborate with me. I'm like, guys, I struggled on my own. So that one is the major. But imagine now, just take it back a bit. Going kuma schools, the young talent, if those guys at that early age are told about collaboration, we talk about these ideas that no, we need to fuse the music and the art, the sculpturing, everything together. They grow up with the culture because it's all about culture, right? What you grow up with is what you eventually take to the next generation. Saga isusu patira bana. Imagine when the likes of Annalena Didembo, those guys were good guys in terms of the music. But after they died, where did that music go? They didn't pass it on to the next. Because success was mine, Elena Didembo, not to the next person. So that's where we're killing that culture. But now look at me. Right now, I've got the young kids that I'm teaching. I've got the young kids that I'm mentoring as well. But I'm embracing that culture of collaboration, that culture of networking. It's something that they will grow with and something that they will move with, something that they'll pass on to the next generation. That means we've got a phase that's already starting. So now that means the blame is on us that have made it. We're not teaching the young the generation to come what needs to be done, what needs to be worked on. We just want to die with what we did and what we know, nothing more. But imagine if we create a culture, the art is alive. The young artists are alive with a burning desire to collaborate and take that dream far. It won't die. That's where maybe we need to work on.
You know, that is impressive. Now, I'd like to sort of maybe cite a few things with regards to, you know, when you're looking at the likes of Anana Leonard Dembo, the likes of Anana John Chibadura, and the rest of them guys, they actually grew up. We grew up listening to that music. These guys grew up in a time where social media or digital technology was not what it is today, right? So there was. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Josh? Josh, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Yes.
Right. I don't know what's going on with. I'll try again.
All right. Now
can you hear?
Better? Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh, great. So I was saying that, you know, the likes of John Chibadura, the likes of you know, Leonard Dembo, these guys, we grew up listening to them. You know, you can't hear. You can't hear. Okay. Let me try something just now. Let me see. Let me know when you can hear me, Josh. Let me know when you can hear me.
Okay.
And which back open again. Can you hear me at all? Okay, cool. So I was saying that you know, the likes of Anna John Chibadura and Leonard Dembo, right? These guys grew up, you know, when digital technology was not like what it is now, right? There was no social media whatsoever, right? You can't hear. Oh man. Guys, can you tell us if you can hear me? Maybe it's on George's side. Can you please comment Let me know if you can hear me, please. For those guys that are watching, do let me know if you can hear me. You can hear me now, yeah? Okay.
Now I can hear you, yes.
Okay, fantastic. So I was saying that, the likes of Anana John Chibadu, like the likes of Anana Leonard Dembo, those guys grew up when there wasn't technology, or digital technology, I should say. It wasn't the way it is now, right? So in terms of social media and everything else, there wasn't all this. They didn't even have a Facebook page or anything like that. Now you can imagine the advantage that we have, that you can actually collaborate with somebody who is based here in the UK. You can collaborate with anyone in the world. You can text someone in seconds and they've received it. The amount of information that we're getting through Facebook or Instagram or whatever every single second, that's quite a lot, and shows potential that we can actually sell ourselves across the globe, right, in a single second. Now, I would like to think that maybe we need to be in a position where we can create proper synergies that would actually best out of the cocoon that we've been in before digital technology or before social media. We need to start looking into how best can we use social media to be able to collaborate effectively. Now, I need to maybe understand one or two things, within the art sector. I know that I've been seeing you painting. I've been seeing you doing some amazing things. I've been seeing you sharing some art from other artists. Have you seen at one point your art being shared by somebody else whom you know, or somebody else within your sector? Have you seen that happening?
Well, that's a sad story, because most people that actually share the art are not artists themselves. The people that just really admire the work, and some people that really find interest in it. That's the sad part. I've never seen one of the artists that I also look up to sharing that, or the emerging artists that share that as well. So that's a painful aspect. So imagine this one time I'm scrolling on Instagram. So there was this post. I think it was it Zim Celebs. They put your post. They can see tag an artist that you think the world needs to know about. To my surprise, this guy tagged me. I do not even know that guy.
Wow.
That for me was touching, because he tagged me on a post that he believes the world needs to know about me, but yet I do not even know about him. He's not even an artist. Imagine. That was touching. I'm like, okay, so where are the fellow artists in the world? We are alone in this. Why can't we just try and help each other?
It's very sad. It's very sad. I'm just trying to sort of type in some information where people would actually get your art from, so that we can, as we speak, people see exactly where they can get it from. Now, it's a sad situation. What you're saying is a sad situation, and what usually causes that, Josh, to be honest with you, I think we need to be very, very honest with each other whenever we're having these discussions. For me, it is mostly to do with jealous and wanting to compete on unnecessarily, right? Just want to compete unnecessarily. You do your pieces of art, yeah. You do your art, and your style is different from mine, right? It means that there is a massive gap in the market for your art to also be bought, or other people might be interested in your art. So the more I post your art pieces, you post my art pieces, it means that within your circle of friends or within your networks, there might be my buyer there. In your circle, in that other person's networks, there might be your buyer there. So we need to stop this jealousy and competition, unnecessary competition. We need to be in a position where we embrace each other and also support each other. I think that's something that's lacking within our communities, or within this sector.
That's very true. Less competition, because honestly, even if you see how we are two different people. So that means actually whatever we will do, we'll never compete, because we are different. Instead, we should actually complement each other in the differences. Because what you can do, I can't. What I can do, you can't. So then why compete? because we're different. We can't compete.
Yeah, it's a sad situation. This is something that we grew up being taught. You know, sometimes when somebody is copying your page or is copying in a test or exam, you tend to sort of close your book, right? So that they won't copy.
Exactly.
Right? So they won't copy. So we grew up having this mentality where we always say somebody is going to copy my work, right? Somebody is going to copy my work. They're going to steal my ideas. I always want to tell people to I sort of want to demystify this myth. To me, it is a myth, right? You need to know that nobody steals an idea. An idea
That's
is
very
embedded within your vision. You've got a vision which has encased your idea. So within
true.
that idea, you know exactly how you're going to be executing your idea. And that is within your vision. And nobody knows your vision. The thing is, if you've got an idea without a vision, then you don't know what you're doing.
Definitely. Definitely.
Every idea should have to be accompanied by a vision. Therefore, the vision is only known to you. The idea is the one that you're exposing to the general public. When you share it, you only share the idea, you don't share your vision. Right?
That's
How are you
very
going
true.
to develop yourself from there? Nobody knows. It's only you who knows. The colors that you're going to be using in your art, it's only you who knows. Even though you've shared an idea to say that I want to do art. You want to do art, but nobody knows what colors you're going to use. Nobody knows what kind of art you're going to be doing, even though they know it's abstract, but they don't know how you're going to draw it. So basically, there's nobody who copies anybody's idea. Right?
True. That's very true.
So that's something that we need to be looking into and understanding that, let's demystify all this thing that if I share something, somebody's gonna steal it. Nobody steals things like that. We need to be in a position where we collaborate. We need to be in a position where we speak to each other and say, guys, let's do this together. If you do it, I do it. We lessen the time that we're going to finish this. So I think it's quite important that we need to start looking into how can we work together? How can we network? Let's forget about all these jealousy rages that are necessary, and let's forget about all these unnecessary competitions.
Definitely. I agree with you right there. So in that sense, my contacts akho, how do you get into touch? My social media, because like I think I recently I was selected to represent Zim at the World Performing Championships of Arts, like
United
in
States.
California in July, yes. So we're supposed to go on the 19th, but due to COVID, we've been moved to next year in July. So
Okay.
so that's another platform again whereby we need to get to sell because self-funding, imagine. So then you look at me, I'll be like, and I can't. But I've got a circle that can actually maybe buy stuff and support. Starting with the host. The host has no art in their office. So that means they have to buy something and support the dream. That's maybe touching on that aspect of collaboration and support. It's something that links together. If you collaborate, let's support. If one person has a show, let's go. Let's support. Kasajere zvimaharu zvinoti my fellow artists ngatibhadhari izvi tibatsirane kusacha.
Wow. Josh, so you're going to California next year when is that?
July, on the 22nd of July.
22nd of July next year, you're going to California, and you've been selected by, is it the Arts Council, to represent the country?
Yes. No, by the World Championships of Performing Arts,
Okay.
To represent them. Yeah.
So basically, what you're doing is you want to fundraise for that trip to California.
Definitely. That's one thing that we're working towards right now.
Okay, fantastic. So what I'll do is I'll definitely advertise your art pieces. I'll put them on my LinkedIn. I'll put them on my Facebook. I hope that my friends within my circles will be able to maybe buy pieces of art or even share, that story. So we need to be in a position where we can raise money. Sorry. Yeah, that's definitely how it starts. So I think that's a good cause for us to really team up and try our level best as countrymen to support our countrymen who is going to be representing us. You are not going there to represent yourself. You're going there to represent us as a country. Therefore, I don't see any reason why we cannot, try to advertise in terms of you getting the funding that you'd want for that July trip in California. I'll be rallying behind you. To be honest with you, I can't promise much, but I would definitely be rallying behind you, man. And I'll be posting like nobody's business, your pieces of art and so on and so forth, so that people will buy.
That's yes. Posting doesn't cost anything. Imagine, but someone denies that opportunity to post somewhere, yet it doesn't cost anything.
And just sharing these things, you post, you share somebody's pieces or somebody's posts and stuff like that. It's very important, guys. We take away that that thing which is inside us to say, I'm not going to support this person simply because you just don't like them for whatever reason. At the end of the day, if you go to California, man, we'll be proud to see you exhibiting your pieces of art in the United States. It gives us pride as Zimbabwe to say we've got someone who is representing us in that country. So I wish you the best of luck, man, for that. And like I said, I'm definitely going to be supporting you on that one and pushing your pieces as well. So basically, your pieces are on CSO Online. You haven't told people that your pieces are on CSO Online, have you?
Yes, they can visit CSO Online at www.csoonline.com. My pieces are there. Just go through and then see what you can get there. These are very amazing pieces that are there, and then definitely keep on giving you new ones as they come through.
Fantastic. And tell us about the where else can we find these pieces if somebody wants to buy them? And what are the prices in terms of what prices are we talking? Is it only inbox?
Yeah, we can inbox. I think on my socials. Do you have my social media handles for my social media?
I think I do. If you can give me that, then that'll be grand. I can as well put them in here so that people can go and visit.
So my Facebook is excuse me, Joshua Chaps K. That's my Facebook.
Yeah.
And then my Instagram is Josh_Chaps_K. That's my Instagram.
Let me write your Instagram. So your Instagram is Josh.
Josh_.
Yeah.
Chaps_K. All in smalls.
Okay.
Yes. And then my Twitter is just Josh Chaps K.
And Twitter is Josh Chaps K, yeah?
Yeah. So if you guys if we just finished the show, I think we're just finishing anytime from now. I'll be posting one of the newest pieces that's here, in the middle. I won't show you, so you just need to visit this one. You just need to visit on my socials. That one is new. I'll be posting it just now after the show. So yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Josh Chaps K. Oh, that's amazing. We'll definitely try to push it on my Twitter. I'll also try to push it. Guys, visit Josh's social media handles and support this gentleman. He needs your help. He needs you to be able to support him. He's got a very, very important trip that he needs to embark on, going to California next year to represent us, and for that reason, it really deserves to be supported by all of us. You can find. Do you want to share your your phone number or anything like that for WhatsApp?
Maybe my WhatsApp number.
Yeah.
So it's +263.
Yeah.
713.
Yeah.
485.
485.
Yes.
Yeah.
975.
975. Great. So I'll just post social media handles and also Josh's WhatsApp number below. So check it out below. And please support this gentleman. He's doing some amazing stuff. If you see his art, you'll definitely love it. So those are just gaps, guys. Josh K Gap, Instagram, Josh _Chaps _K. Then there's a gap there. Twitter, Josh Chaps K, and WhatsApp. That's his message. This his phone number. Please do reach out, like his page, and let's support Josh. Let's support Josh. Josh all the way to California. It's definitely going to happen, man.
Definitely.
Josh, do you have any final words that you'd like to tell our viewers?
Let's not stop pushing the dreams. Discover who you are. Find out who you are. Push who you are. In the end, fulfill your dreams by pushing who you are. Like my motto always says, passion drives purpose. Any day, anytime. Let's push those passions. Let's have that purpose, and then let's push that till we die. Because we can live a fulfilling life.
Fantastic, man. Thank you so much, man. It's been great having you on this show. I'd like to have you back at some point. If possible, maybe we can come back here some other time and do exhibition of your art. We'll try to sort of see if there are people that would be wanting to sort of buy your art on that live show, and some of them may be wanting to bid to buy that art, because we need to make sure that this happens. The California journey needs to happen, man. So I appreciate you for coming through, and thank you so much, the viewers, for supporting us. We love you guys. Keep on supporting us. Keep on sharing the pages, and check out Josh's Instagram, Twitter, as well as Facebook, plus his WhatsApp number below. Thank you so much, man. Have a very good night, bro. Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Right. Thank you for having me. Have you guys good night.
Thank you so much, bro. Take care, B. Bye-bye, guys.